Hi everyone, welcome back to the Laravel 9 Basic Beginners course. This is episode 5. And in the last episode, we talked about more of the Blade template. We talked about passing data from, passing the request data from the web, the routes down to the controller, and then from the controller back to the views, and as well as passing accessible data from the controller down to the views. Okay, so for this episode, we're going to be talking about forms. We're going to, make a post request. We're going to create a simple form, post that request down to the controller, and then access that data and see what else we can do with that data from the controller. Okay, all right, let's get started. So this is where we ended in our previous episode. Okay, so for this episode, we're going to be creating a form and all of that. So what we're going to do, since we want to create a form, we know there's several things involved. We perhaps want to create a different route, right? We also want to create a different controller, perhaps, because you want to have things to handle specific things, right? Then you also want to create a different view for this form, right? And all of that. So in order for us to do that, first off, let's create our view. Okay, so we have the views folder here, as you know. Go to resources, views. Okay, let's create a let's call this should I put it in a folder? No, let's just call this sign up dot blade dot php. Okay, now and we're just going to do some just gonna put some boilerplate here. Okay, and I'm gonna call this sign up form. All right, now this is basically just HTML as you already can tell. All right, and we're just going to create let's do some, maybe we could do some styling. How about that? Okay, but for now, let's just say we create mm, main, let's call this class or form. Okay, and then let's create multiple inputs. All right, so we want to create inputs and just going to call this, give this a name, and we're going to call this first name. Okay, I'm going to duplicate this multiple times. Let's call this last name. Let's call this username. Let's call this email. And lastly, let's call this password. Okay, the type for the password should be the password. We can use type for email as email, thanks to HTML. And yeah, we could pretty much leave the other things like this. Okay. We're going to create a submit button. No, that's create a button. Okay. And then we're going to say sign up. All right. And for this, we want our form. Uh, uh, Hold on a second. Okay. And we're going to say method host. Okay. So for this action, we're just going to leave this for now because we didn't have, we haven't created where we'll be passing like what URL or what route this will be going to. Okay. So this is our form, right? Let's return this form. Let's get that form. Let's view that form. Okay. And we're going to say that we want to get slash sign up. Mhm. And then for now, okay, we're just going to do this and we're going to return a view. and the view is going to be sign up. All right, I'm going to save this, and then we're going to go over to slash sign up. Let's see if that works. Okay, now this is looking ugly. I'm just gonna start this a bit. This isn't a front end related course or something, but just so we don't have this whole thing going on the way it is and all that. I think we could do a style here, and we could do uh, okay, let's say HTML margin, just at the normal reset padding, zero box size, and sorry, box size and water box. Okay, we could actually do this. Mm, let's see. Okay, now we have that basic thing going on. So we're going to do body, and then we're going to say, hold on, before doing that, I'm just going to do HTML. I'm going to put a height of 100%, and then I'm going to do body height 100%, and then I'm going to do a main. I'm going to say display flex, okay, and flex. Well, let's see. Hmm, justify content center and online items center. Okay, hopefully that gives us something hmm, not different. Uh, okay, you know what? There's no need for this. Oh, oops. Rather, there's no need for this. Sorry. And I'm just going to format this manually. Okay, and I'm going to call this form, the form class. Okay, so lastly, flex direction column. So this should give us a simple arrangement. Yes. Okay, this is what we wanted. We're also going to do display flex and then align items, center, justify content center. Okay, so this is a simple form, and of course, as you this isn't a front end related course or something and all of that. So, but this is just so as we don't, just to give it a little bit of look or something. Okay. Now we have this over here, and then our form is ready. And uh, sorry guys, I really don't know why I'm spending so much time on this, but I promise you this is the last one, and we'll move forward. Okay. So I don't bore you with front end related stuff. All right, good. So we have a basic sign up form. I think it's good if we add placeholders, because it looks a bit somehow. What do you guys think? And then, for this, we're gonna have first name, last name. Okay, username, email address, password. Let's say create a password. Okay, all right. So if I were to reload this, okay, that looks better. Looks way better. Please ignore like this. These are all browser styles. Like all of this outline and all that. Okay, so we have our form, we have our view, everything is working. So now we want to create our controller. All right. And if you remember and you remember the command, I mean, it's pretty much there. PHP artisan will make controller, and we're going to say from, or let's call this sign up controller. Okay. And now we're going to have our controller. Going to close this. So now that we have the controller, we want to pass this controller to, we want to pass a method to this controller. So I'm just going to call this method store, okay? Because I mean, usually when you want to store something, so we're going to call the store, and we're going to move this anonymous function here, and we're going to pass in an array, remember? And we're going to uh, okay. So as you remembered, I remember in the last episode I talked about something whereby I told you that a GET request is different from a POST request, and as such, even if you made a GET request and then there was only a POST method here, it wouldn't work. Or if you made a POST method and there's only a GET method here, it wouldn't work. So now this is a good example of showing you that there's a clear difference between both of them. We're going to have two routes. One is going to be get to sign up, and then the other is going to be post to sign up. Okay. So for this sign up controller, we have store, but we also need another method, which is we need to show this view, the sign up form, when you actually go to sign up. Okay. It's when you submit the form that we're going to post that, your data down to the store method. Okay. So for this, I'm just going to call it index, all right? And we're just going to return a view here as we did earlier, okay? And then we're going to call this sign up, all right? Now that we have this, I'm going to, since we have the get here, let's make this the get, and then we're going to call the sign up controller, okay? And then class, and then the method is index, all right? And then we're going to say route post, which is a post request, okay? And now for the post request, we want to say we're still posting to the same slash signer, okay? And now we are going to have to say the same sign up controller, okay? Class, but instead of the index method, we want to post it down to the store method, okay? Now, as you can see, we have get and we have post here. Okay, so as to make you understand that there are two different things, I'm just going to return and say this is from a post request. Okay, I'm going to end that. And if I were to reload this page, it should still show us this form and not this if everything is correct, because this is a get request and not a sign up request. Now that we have this, we want to link our form to post over, like to post a request down to the site, slash sign up, right? Now we can easily do this. Okay, for now we're just going to do this. And if I save this, this might not actually work, and you'd see that in a bit. I'm just going to submit. What did that do? Oh. Okay, of course. I'm so sorry, guys. This is meant to be form and not div. Okay, and hold on. I'm just going to reload and sign up. Okay, now you get to see this page for when I expired. Now the reason is because Laravel has some level of security for CRSF security going on, whereby you need to actually put in a CRSF token, which is cross reference sites. It's for custom script forgery or something. I don't know, but then it's based off of for security. And usually the simple thing you just do is you just put at CRSF, and that should fix it. Okay, no, we'll start all over. And now, if I submit the form, you can see this is from a post request. Okay. But now let's say that I don't want to, I mean, you had to manually type this, right? And if for some reason we were to go back to the web.php and we change this to, this sign up DDD, and this isn't going to work. The post method is not found. This isn't going to work. So which means that you have to come over here and change, the route as well. So a simple fix to this is what we call using the route helper method and then calling the name of the route. Now, for each route you see here, you can actually attach a name to it. It's more like an alias. So we could say, I want to give this a name, okay? And the name of this route is going to, let's call this sign up, okay, dot view, or rather sign up dot index, okay? And then I want to call this, and I'm going to call this sign up dot store, okay? Now, with this, I will be able to, access this route or whatever is in here without having to, have to change this wherever it is. All I have to do is just call the name. So let's see how that works. If I go back to, I'm going to close this. If I go back to the sign up plate and we come down here, instead of putting this, what we're going to do is we're going to say route, which is we're going to use a helper method like this. And then we're going to pass in the name. And the name we want to pass it is signup.store. Okay? And all of that. So signup.store. Now, right here now, if we were to go back to our farm and we test this out, this should still work as it should. Okay, so hold on a second. Okay, sorry, we're supposed to put this in curly braces. Okay, please do not forget that. So in Laravel, when you want to echo something, you have to put it in curly braces. All right, and that's the reason why that didn't work because we didn't do that. So I'm just going to go back, okay, and reload the page. And now when we do sign up, that's strange. I think there's the cache going on. Hold on a second. Oh, we didn't save this file yet. Now saved, reload, sign up, and here we go. We have this. So even if I was to come down here, okay, and I change this to, and let's say blah, 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 okay? Now, the fact that if this is the get request is the same, but if I do sign up, it should still, go down and you can see the URL change to blah, 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 right? And all of that. So pretty much you get the picture of how, that is really benefiting for you to use names. And then you could actually, call them any part of your app just by using the route helper method. Now, another way is if you wanted to see, what routes you have listed, what you could do is you could say PHP artisan route list. Okay. And now this is going to show you like the list of routes you have. And as you can see, we have both of like, one, two, three. We have one, two, and three. Oh, sorry, four actually. So you have one, okay, you have two, 3 and then 4. This is the forward slash, which is the home page. Okay, so as you can see, but now you notice that this one doesn't have a name, this one has a name. So sign up the index, sign up that store, right, and all of that. So these are acting like aliases, okay, and all of that. So let's move forward. Now that we have a form, we've gotten the CRSF token there, we have all of this. Now I want us to pass data into our form, and we could say David of use homes as a test at test.com and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Uh, sorry, hold on a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we have this, I fill this data right now, but the truth is, even if I were to submit this data, I mean, there's no way we could access this data, right? I mean, there's literally nothing. We can't do anything. So let's say we want to access the data. How would we do it? Now, in Laravel, we have something called the request facade or the request class, just like we have the route facade over here. And then you could literally pass in the request. Actually, you can easily do it this way, okay? And you get in the request. So in order to test this out, I'm just gonna say dd the request, which is we want to get all, like, the request, that whatever request that's coming in, we want to get everything. And then dd is an abbreviation for die and dump, okay, which is, or dump and die, like, just dump the request and kill the connection. All right. So if I were to submit this, okay, we didn't reload the page. Okay. Mm, mm, Too few arguments. Okay. So we need to pass the request, which is this guy over here. Let's see if that's the problem. Did we fix that? Okay, yes. So we need to pass the facade, which is the request class over here, and then we're binding that whatever that's coming in and say, okay, we're taking in the request from the user. And as you can see, we have all the details here. There probably wouldn't be something you could you'd easily understand, and all of that, but you get to see most of the details and all that over here. Okay, so now the details that we passed, you can literally see them right here in the parameters section over here, right? And all of that. But then, I mean, we don't just want to have the records like this. I mean, in this manner, we probably want to, take the request and do something else with it, and all of that. So, what we could do is, let's have a let's use the same. We're going to use the same blade, okay? And then whatever, let's put in a p tag and say your email address is email address, okay? Or let's say email address. So we're going to say, and then let's call this name, okay? So let's say whenever a user signs up, we want to take them back to the welcome page and say, hello, welcome, and then your email address is this, okay? And all of that. So we're just simply going to do that. All right. So from this sign up controller, we know that we're getting data. And now in order to access that data or whatever data it is that we're coming in, let's still use the DD, the die dump for now. I want to access the first name And the first name we get is, we could say, request inputs, okay? And then we're going to get the first name, okay? And then if I were to reload this, you can see the first name is David. And then if you're checking the last name and you reload this as well, and you said the last name is Orpheus. Okay, so in order to pass this down to our form, we know we're expecting two parameters for the form. We want the name and we want the email address. Okay, so we're going to send this back to a view, and let's say we want to get the user view. Okay, and then we're going to pass it some data. All right. Now let's leave that for now. So I don't want the name to just be like hello office, or let's make it like a full name whereby it's a combination of the first name and the last name. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to say name is equal to request. Now, another way you can access the data apart from doing request inputs and then passing in the key, which is now the key here, just so you know, is equivalent to the name field here. So this is your key. I mean, in vanilla PHP, when you're doing forms, perhaps you must have figured this out, but this is your key, okay, and all of that. So we want to let's pass that key. We want to pass that key to the input method. But another way you could do is you could actually just, I mean, Laravel is beautiful, right? You can actually just pass in the data like this and say name is equal to first name, okay, and then let's put this in a string, and we're going to say and requests last underscore name. Okay, so this is going to be name. And now for us to pass this, we're going to say, as you can see, it's already telling, I mean, my code editor is helping me tell me that, hey, we need to pass to information. Okay, so the first one is going to be name, and then this is going to be name, all right? And then the second one is going to be email address. And remember, we're taking the email address from the user input, so it's going to be request email. I'm just going to turn on word wrap so this looks better. Okay. And yeah, so I'm just going to, comment this out, or let's delete that out, and let's see if that works. So we submit the form and it takes us down to view. Okay, so we have hello David Office, welcome, your email address is, and that didn't work. The email address didn't work. Why? Okay, let's debug that, guys. If we go back to the user of the blade, spelled this wrongly, and then this is the email address. This is the email address as well. And request. Oh, okay. I think the request is email, guys, right? Am I correct? Yeah, email, not email address. So the key was wrong. So it's email. So if I were to reload this, exactly, and then it says your, you know, your email address is this, and all of that. So basically, it was saying, after you sign up, you takes you down, you pass the data, you literally just pass the data from a form, you send a post request, and remember, of course, you always need to add CRSF for forms in Laravel, okay? And of course, this is doesn't have to do with APIs per se, but whenever you're working with a webpad as a monolith or something, you need to have CRSF for your forms. And we've been able to submit a form down to the controller, get the request, and show that request and pass it back to a different view, and that's what we have over here. Okay, so I hope that make a lot of sense. If it's too much for you to grasp, just try to watch the video over and over again until you're able to understand the concept, and always check the documentations, remember. Uh, so in the next episode, we're going to, jump over to, creating your first API, what API is, and, uh, creating a simple CRUD application, a simple uh, create, read, update, and delete. Okay. All right. And see you guys in the next episode. Bye bye.